Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Now today I'm going to be doing a vinyl update video just showing some records which I've purchased over the last month or so. So yeah, a lot of variety here, some old stuff, some new stuff, some in between stuff. So yeah, we'll just get stuck in with a couple of albums by a band, The Church, Australian kind of psychedelic rock band, I guess you would say. This is Priest Equals Order, a reissue of one of their classic albums from 1992 here. Yeah, a great record this, just like some like fine songs, like as well things like Feel, Ripple, Aura. Yeah, a lot of fantastic stuff on here. And then sticking with The Church, I also got this album which is called Hindsight, which is essentially a kind of, I was going to say a greatest hits collection, but they didn't really have all that many hits. But this is it's from their native Australia, this, and it's essentially a double LP of kind of singles, B-sides, some album tracks, essentially going up from their formation in kind of 1980 to 1987. So it kind of cuts off almost just before their biggest album, which is called Starfish. So this is a really good summary, I guess, of their early career, and there's lovely artwork on this, like on like the inside, like in particular, little blurb about each song, and I think each of these inner sleeves is also really nicely done, like as well. So a little bit rare, a little bit difficult to find this, but I just purchased this like online and like got quite a good deal on it. Yeah, so yeah, really great album. Okay, next one up is by a band called The Ocean Blue. These are kind of an American, I was going to say jangle pop band, but they're very like REM-y, like I would say, kind of early REM. You kind of get to like kind of like The Ocean Blue. This is an album called Davy Jones's Locker. Originally came out in 1999, actually. I was trying to think there, yeah. So 1999 came out originally. I think this is the first time it's ever been put out on vinyl, and it's a lovely repressing of it. Could be their best album, like for me, really good stuff. So yeah, The Ocean Blue, Davy Jones's Locker. Okay, next couple up are ones I've got online on Facebook, like of all places. I've put off a few Paul Heaton kind of groups like on there, and this guy was selling a couple of items from his collection which kind of caught my eye. Like things which I'd certainly never come across before. So I got this, which is a copy of Welcome to the Beautiful South, the debut album, but it's I think it's a Canadian copy with a completely different cover. Like the original one is like very different to this. So yeah, very nice to get like this like alternate cover there. And then I also then got this single, which again is one which I didn't really know much about. I think it's a cover song, like I want to say. It's a song called What You See Is What You Get. Came out in 1991 here, and this is a nice wee copy of it here. So it's a single, it's a German single. I think it was only ever released like in Europe, and then it's got this kind of promotional inserts with it like as well. So yeah, a really good song actually. Again, I'm still not 100% sure like if it's a cover, if it's not, why it was released, even like to like be honest like with you. It's yeah, all a bit of a mystery, this single. But yeah, another one there which I think now completes my Beautiful South 7-inch singles collection. Okay, now over the past couple of months, I've been really getting into a band called like the New Pographers. They're like a Canadian kind of, I guess, power pop band, I guess, like you would call them. I hear a lot of ELO in there, a little bit of Fleetwood Mac as well, because you've got a kind of, like some of the songs are sung by a male singer called, I think it's called Carl Newman, and then you've also got Nico Case, who's like a female vocalist, who again is just a really like great singer. So there's a lot of variety like on the album, so I'd be really getting into them. So this was what I picked up as part of a Discogs order. So I got this album called Brill Bruisers from 2014 originally. Now this one I got really lucky on. I paid £25 for this, and normally this is like a £100 record like nowadays, you know. So really happy to get this one. This is probably one of the more poppy albums, like I would say. A lot more synths on this than maybe earlier albums, which are maybe a bit more guitar driven, but a lot of great songs there. Probably some of my favourites would be Marching Orders Born with the Sound is great. Champions of Red Wine. So yeah, a lot of great stuff on here. That's like the new Pographers there. And to kind of fill out the order like a little bit, the seller was also selling a ton of Noel Gallagher items which I didn't have. So I got this one, which is a Record Store Day version of what's the song, In the Heat of the Moment here, which I must confess I've not actually like even opened yet, because he also had this for sale, which was the Chasing Yesterday remixes, of which both of the tracks on here are part of this. So I could maybe get away with selling this one, or kind of like getting like rid of it. I kind of maybe like if I'd known that those two were on this album, I maybe would have passed on it. But yeah, this is just, it's a double album collection of various remixes from the Chasing Yesterday album. Again, I've not played this yet, but usually Noel Gallagher remixes, they can be variable, and it depends who's doing them. I quite like whenever there's like a Reflex remix. I really like those, but unfortunately there's no Reflex remixes like on this one. It's all, I think there's David Holmes, who we would later work with actually on the album Who Built the Moon, like shortly after Chasing Yesterday came out. And there's a few other ones like as well, like Andrew Weatherall, Toy Drum. So yeah, various remix artists like doing different versions of the Chasing Yesterday songs. And then also got this single as well, one of probably the song for me actually which really got me into Noel Gallagher, including like Oasis like as well in that, which was the Ballad of the Mighty Eye here. A great song, very dramatic, it could almost be like a Bond theme, this, I think. You know, it's just such a great song. You got a good contribution from Johnny Marr like as well, but it's yeah, possibly my favourite like of like his like entire catalogue there. So yeah, great to get it like on a 7-inch single. And then like as I said earlier, like I have been really getting into like this band like the new Pographers, so I've kind of got a little bit all out like the past couple of months getting their stuff. So this was a recent reissue of the album Electric Version, which is their second album, which is really good. I mean, it's probably you probably rate it mid-table for them. Like I'd say, there's a couple of really good tracks, but then a few ones on here which maybe haven't quite maybe not the most memorable material, but a good record though. So good solid second album there. And they got this one, which I think is a recent reissue, but it's not one of these where this is like the 20th anniversary. I think they've then just reissued all of their albums kind of like in like one go, like a little bit, because I got a copy here of Twin Cinema, which could be their best album. This is a great record. Lot of variety like on here. Things like Use It has got this great kind of sort of like interesting use of time signatures and stuff as well, but it's never pretentious either, like, or too progressive. It's like there's still fun songs, like, you know, like Bleeding Heart shows stunning. Singing Me Spanish Techno's again possibly one of my favourites off there. So this is a brilliant record. Came out originally, this one, in 2005, and then to kind of not quite complete my collection on them, but I think I mustn't be too far off, I got a copy of Challengers here, which again must be a recent reissue, because I think these records used to be quite difficult to get. This is another brilliant record. My favourites on here would be the opener, My Rights versus Yours, Challengers, Fail Safe, and Mutiny, I Promise You. A lot of great songs on here. So yeah, this one from 2007 or 8, like, I believe. Okay, next couple up now are from a shop in Edinburgh, where I live, called Vinyl Villains. A good shop, probably not my favourite, like, in like the city, but occasionally I pop in and I do quite well. And certainly this time I did all right, actually. So I got this album at long last, The Freewheelin' by Bob Dylan. Yeah, it's possibly hard to believe I didn't have this like already, but this is great. You know, it's Dylan at his most stripped back, most kind of primitive kind of like early kind of songwriting, but a lot of great songs there, like some of his most well-known tracks, things like Don't Think Twice, It's Alright, Blowing in the Wind, Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, just a lot of brilliant songs. So yeah, this is definitely a classic album, which was certainly missing from my collection until now. Got a couple of 12-inch singles as well. So I got this Prefab Sprout one, which is for the song Appetite here. Yeah, great song from the Steve McQueen album. 2 unique B-sides there, like as well, which is always nice. This is a one by Squeeze called King George Street. This one I think is from the Cozy Fan Tutti Frutti album, and there's no unique B-sides. There's just a couple of live tracks there, live versions of Love Crashing Waves, which is like a Difford and Tilbrook song, and then Up the Junction like as well. So yeah, this one, yeah, certainly not my favourite Squeeze album, but nice to get it, and one I'd never seen before. This one is an Aztec Camera single. I think this was £1. Deep, what's this word? Deep, Wide and Tall. Which is yeah, from that like the Love album. So a good song, this one here. It's just got a kind of remix off it there. So that might be a bit dodgy, but yeah, nice cover though. Like Roddy Frame and Aztec Camera. And then I got this one, which is a Crowded House single for the song Fingers of Love here, which is on a really nice kind of gatefolded 10-inch single, which is really cool. So again, live versions of Fingers of Love, alongside things like It's Only Natural, Love You Till the Day I Die, like earlier songs there. So yeah, again, not something to see like every day. Nicely Crowded House item there. Okay, let's couple it out of some recent reissues, which had yeah, recently been like released. So I got this Talking Heads Stop Making Sense, like the reissue of it, or rather, I think it's the first time this has actually been issued on vinyl in full. Like, you know, like the original record of it was a very poor, it's like eight songs from like the kind of whatever they do, like 15 track set list. I mean, this was really expensive, which again vinyl prices have got a bit silly. But I think what makes this one, and I think why they were charging what they were, was because it's got a full replica of the original program in it, which is really nice. Like again, lots of nice photos like of like the band like in here, and this is a stunning film. Stop Making Sense. Like we went to see it like in like the cinema, like as part of like this like reissue campaign. And it's just a stunning like piece of cinema there. So yeah, fantastic to get like the full concert finally like on vinyl. Okay, next up is another reissue. It's by a band Ride here, kind of they kind of were a kind of shoegaze band like up to this point, but this is I think it's their third album called Carnival of Light, and this is a bit poor, I think. You know, I think it always does have a kind of reputation as being a bit of a not so good album, but yeah, very Britpop by numbers, a little bit like for me. I mean, I think it started off alright, but it's far too long. You know, it's one of these albums from the kind of like the mid-90s where they just try and cram far too much onto it, and yeah, I just got bored of this one. So this one I thought I possibly could have done without, but I just thought, oh, I think like yeah, I think this would be like my cup of tea, but yeah, it was just a little bit boring for me. Okay, and now we've got a new album which I picked up, which is by like the Rain Parade, one of my favourite kind of Paisley Underground bands, and it was yeah really surprising to see them release a new album. This is called Last Rays of a Dying Sun. And this is really good. Like, you know, like this is a very worthy kind of comeback album. You know, considering I mean this is like their third album, their first since 1985, and it's just remarkable. I think how similar it actually sounds, and like how authentically Rain Parade it actually sounds. So yeah, there's a lot of brilliant tracks like on here. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's my favourite album like of like the year like or anything, but it's a remarkably good record for like a man who have been very like inactive like for like quite a few years. Doesn't have of course this album doesn't have David Robrack on it. He left after emergency third rail power trip, but it's essentially the same lineup as on Crashing Dream, their second album. So it is definitely a authentic Rain Parade record, and it's very good. So yeah, enjoyed this one a lot. Last Rays of a Dying Sun. Okay, and at the same time, like as I picked up all of those, I got this record, which is an album which came out a couple of years ago, which I never bothered to get, but I'd seen this on offer. So it's David Albarn called The Nearer the Fountain, the More Pure the Stream Flows. £8 I paid for this, which I thought, yeah, fair enough, like, I'm definitely going to get that. And I actually surprisingly really like this album, you know. I don't know if it's just, it maybe in recent months, I guess I've maybe got more into Blur with like the Ballad of Darren, like what came out like earlier this year. But this was actually a very good record, much softer, you know, basically all piano songs, quite acoustic kind of sort of like tracks, but really nicer, just a nice comforting record, which is one, yeah, I just completely like bypassed me like when like it like originally came out. Okay, now I've got a couple of records now from a shop in Stirling called like Europa Music, so I'll just quickly fire through those. So I got this album by the Smithereens, kind of American like alternative kind of rock band, 1980 something. This album came out 86 it says here. Yeah, this has probably got the most famous song, Strangers When We Meet, on it, but this is a very, very, very good record, and very solid throughout. So yeah, the Smithereens there, especially for you. This one's by a band called the Bodines, a kind of British kind of I guess kind of jangle pop sort of band. This one came out in 1987, and this is very good, very solid record, like all like the way through. This was their only album release, which is a shame, because I think, yeah, I mean, they could have been great, but I guess like kind of like towards the end of the 80s, the whole Manchester thing kind of took over, and I guess kind of bands like this kind of started to fall by the wayside like a little bit. But no, the Bodines played here, fantastic record. Okay, next up, kind of one from the late 70s. It is by Magazine, and it is called Secondhand Daylight here. So yeah, Magazine kind of formed by Howard DeVito after he left the Buzzcocks. This one I got a really good deal on. I think I paid about £12 for this, which, yeah, for a Magazine album, like, is like, yeah, very, 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 very cheap. And yeah, very, if you're into like things like your Joy Division, The Cure, very similar to that. A little bit dark, a little bit some of the tracks a little bit odd, slightly oddball, but very good though. So I really enjoyed this one. Forget what year this came out, 79, this one here originally. So yeah, that's Secondhand Daylight by Magazine. Okay, next two, again, still from Europa Music, got a couple of 7-inch singles here. So got this one by the Weather Prophets, Why Does the Rain? Great song. Yeah, another another great wee like jangle pop band there. And this New Order one, which is for Temptation. Now, I particularly wanted to get this one, and was glad that I seen it, because I think this 7-inch mix is the definitive version like of Temptation. 12-inch mix, usually with New Order, like, is like the way to go, but I think this 7-inch mix is just a lot tighter, a lot more focused, and I think the song just it just feels like it's mixed a lot better, like on like this 7-inch version. So yeah, that's, yeah, definitely for me the definitive version of that one. Okay, and then to finish from Europa Music, got a couple of 12-inch singles from it. So I got this Prefab Sprout one, When Love Breaks Down here. Now, this single was reissued quite a few times, and I think this was the original version, and then it was reissued, I think, after the album came out, and that's when it became a hit. I think anyway, but then I think there might be like a different version like as well. So this has got a mighty 4 B-sides on it there. So yeah, a great song, and Prefab Sprout, like I said, like always giving you value for money as far as their singles go. And then I got this one by the Icicle Works, which is Birds Fly, which you'll notice here is actually signed by Ian McNabb there, like the lead vocalist there. So yeah, very thrilled to see this one here. Obviously, he kind of made it out to Ali, like on it. So yeah, it was just nice to see this one here again. Not expensive at all, just the same price it probably would have been for like a normal copy of it. But yeah, a really great song, and yeah, nice to get another one in the Icicle Works collection. Okay, next couple up now are all from a couple of shops in Glasgow. So I often complain on these videos at how difficult it is to get Tom Petty singles, like in like the UK, primarily because he didn't really have all that much success here. But this time I went through, I actually got really lucky, and I think it was just a coincidence I actually seen quite a few like of his singles. So I got this one, A Face in the Crowd from the Full Moon Fever album. And then this one also from the same record, like I Won't Back Down, with a lovely cover, and again unique B-sides, don't unique B-side here, like Don't Treat Me Like a Stranger, I think was a co-write with Jeff Lynne as well. So yeah, fantastic to get these two. And then from another shop in Glasgow the same day, I also seen this, which is a copy of Make It Better, Forget About Me, from the Southern Accents album, and this one's particularly noteworthy because on the B-side you get like their version of the Nick Lowe song "Cracking Up," which is a brilliant version of it, like, by the way. So yeah, like very glad to get that one, like, as well. And then from the same shop as those, I got this single by the Railway Children. I picked up the album that this is from, I think, and showed it in my last like update. But no, this is a song called So Right, and it's a kind of double 12-inch single. So I think like originally it would have come with just the one single there, and then it would have been up to the record buyer to then purchase the second disc, which comes in its own sort of nice like inner sleeve, and this was a complete copy. It's a lovely nick, very cheap as well, so yeah, nice to get this one. No unique B-sides, it's all just remixes, so yeah, probably quite variable like in terms of like quality here. But no, the Railway Children, great, again jangle pop band from Wigan, from, and again the said this one came out 1990. Okay, sticking with Glasgow, these were from a charity shop in Glasgow. I think it was the Oxfam Music in like the West End. So I got these singles. They're all £1 each, and I guess when singles are £1 each, you know you can go a little bit crazy and sort of start picking tons of stuff up. So I got, I think, 8 or 9 here. So I got Paul Simon one, Mother and Child Reunion. This is a kind of reissue of it to promote the Negotiations and Love Songs Greatest Hits compilation. So nice to get that one. Another Paul Simon one is Born at the Right Time here, from the like the Rhythm of the Saints album, one of my favourite songs of his, and yeah, great to get it like on a 7-inch. I got this Police one, da-do-do-do-da-da-da, great, yeah, good song. I mean, yeah, like not one of my favourite Police songs, but nice to get the singles, not on a coloured vinyl or anything. I know a lot of their singles were, but no, yeah, nice to get that one. I got a couple of Pretenders singles here, like as well. So I got Message of Love, Talk of the Town, which is a really nice back cover like as well, and then possibly one of my favourite songs of theirs, Kid. Great single. So I've maybe caught the singles bug with them a little bit, but they really were one of the best singles bands like off like their era. And then I also then got this Altered Images one, which is for I Could Be Happy. Possibly my favourite song of theirs, between that and maybe Change of Heart, I'd say, like from the Bite album. But no, great song, and yeah, great to get all of those like for £1. Okay, sticking with the Glasgow charity shops, I also picked up this book as well, which is an Elvis Costello biography called Let Them All Talk, the music of Elvis Costello, by a guy called Brian Hinton. So yeah, not really sure what to expect for this one. I've not read reviews. It was just an impulse buy. I never even knew it really existed. So yeah, hopefully I'll learn a fair bit from that. And then perhaps because of that, or kind of, I guess, maybe slightly trolling Discogs a little bit for kind of like what other releases like I was missing, I came across this DVD compilation called The Right Spectacle, which is essentially all of his music videos, like up to I think like the mid-90s on here. And this is really good. I mean, as I said, it's all the music videos, but then you've got like a kind of audio commentary as well, like from like Costello, which is really good. And then there's about an hour or so of kind of special features, which is sort of TV like appearances, like archive appearances, which those are really great. They're all live performances, and I mean, boy, Costello and the Attractions like could play, like, you know, like there's some great live performances there, like on like the special features. This was really cheap, like on eBay, so yeah, I would definitely recommend picking this up for any fan like of Elvis Costello. Okay, got a couple of new releases now to show, like as well, back to like some new things. So I actually did end up picking this up, which I wasn't expecting to. to, or like wasn't hyped about it like anything. It's the new Rolling Stones one, Hackney Diamonds, which I kind of bought like on the kind of strength of kind of listening to it and thought, actually, yeah, this is a pretty good album, you know, and kind of, yeah, I mean, who'd have thought, yeah, 2023, like we're getting like a new Rolling Stones album. So yeah, some really great stuff in it. Like I really like the first two tracks, Angry and Get Close. Bite My Head Off has got a bass part from Paul McCartney on there, which is really good. Possibly my favourite on here is a song called Driving Me Too Hard. It's got a very kind of 60s feel to it, and then you've got the Keith Richards vocal, Tell Me Straight. So all round, a really good, solid record here, like from the Stones. Probably better than I think most people could have anticipated it being. So yeah, Hackney Diamonds there. And then at the same time I picked that up, I kind of got this on a bit of like an impulse buy, I have to say, which is the new one by Teenage Fan Club called Nothing Lasts Forever. As you can see, this has been kind of signed by all the members, but I just bought it like that. I mean, this is this is quite a mellow record for them. I guess I maybe need to give it a bit more time to grow on me. Again, it's a very reflective kind of cover to it, which yeah, is quite cool, like I suppose. But yeah, the music itself is very mellow. They obviously, I mean, like the guys in Teenage Fan Club now, probably well into like their 50s, possibly touching like the 60s, and they're kind of writing songs which I guess are like age appropriate, but it certainly doesn't make for the most exciting album like in the world, like I would say that. So yeah, Nothing Lasts Forever is the next one. And then also, like at the same time as those, I got this, which is maybe a bit of a mistake, if I'm being honest. It's an album by Peter Brewis, who is one of the Field Music brothers. So it's called Blow Dry Colossus, and this is and I had no idea that and the guy had no idea that this was even coming out, was even being like released. But this is very experimental. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 songs like where there's actually vocals on it, and yeah, I possibly could have done without this, to be honest with you. But I mean, usually even their side projects are quite good. I really like the albums by The School of Language, which I think is one of their side projects, which I really enjoy, and The Week That Was, which I think is Peter Bruce's previous side project. That's a great record, but this one, yeah, was just a little bit too experimental, a bit too wacky for like its own good, like I would say. So yeah, probably not featuring highly on my end of year list, that one. Okay, and then I've got a couple of ones here which I got from a recent work trip actually up to like Aberdeen. Never been there before, and we went in one actually really good record shop actually. So I got these two. I got Graham Parker and The Rumour. Stick to Me, which is apt because I recently just did my 1977 album ranking, and I guess like if I had this would have featured in it. Probably would have been mid-table. I mean, it was a decent record. There's a couple of dud tracks. I think like The Heat In, The Harlem, 7 minutes, and it does not need to be that long. But there's some solid tracks on here though. Like all round a good record. And then this one is by a pretty obscure, again, 80s jangle kind of band, The Farmer's Boys. This is called With These Hands. How I discovered this was there's a great, and I think I've mentioned this before, there's a great YouTube channel called Perfect Pop Songs, and they occasionally will put up, and they'll put up like sort of like videos like in like little kind of spurts. And occasionally I'll kind of click on one just out of curiosity, and I guess I did with this, and I really liked it, so I kind of saved it like in like, and I kind of added them to my Discogs want list, and then when I seen this like in the record shop, it was a no-brainer to buy. Yeah, really good record. 1985 this one came out. Okay, and then I got this one online, which I actually forgot that I'd even ordered, to be frankly honest. It just came like the other day. So it's the Lathams live at the Kendall Calling Tim Peake stage festival here. So this is it's a live album. I mean, very lazily packaged, I would say, but I think this is a very limited edition thing, maybe 100 or so copies of it. There must be more than that, like I'm not sure, but this is possibly something that might go up like in value like quite a bit like in like years to come. but a great live recording, like some fantastic, like some songs, like a good variety, like in like the set list of kind of like songs from like the new album, old favourites, and then a couple of slightly more like obscure ones, like as well. Really good track called Knotted Bed of Roses, which wasn't on the new album. I think it was maybe like a B-side or something, but that's on here, which is a really good version of it. So yeah, very nice to get that one. Okay, last couple are all ones which I picked up today. So I got this Lloyd Cole and the Commotion single, From the Hip here. Yeah, I think this is the last thing that they ever put out, which is like, yeah, quite sad, I guess, but yeah, 1988 this one came out. You get From the Hip and then 3 other B-sides on here actually, so quite generous kind of like way to go out there, Lloyd Cole and the Commotions. I then picked up this album, which is a record which I've owned on CD for quite a while, because I think someone sent it to me possibly, and I really liked it. So this is actually my first album by Radiohead. I've got the Bends here. So I know I like this album, but I just felt I needed to get it like on vinyl. See it around quite a lot, but I finally decided to take to like take the plunge and sort of buy it properly. So yeah, 1994, yeah, this one came out. Okay, and then this one is a new album by a guy called 10 Tons, and this is called Dancing Alone. I guess this is he's very similar to kind of Sam Fender, like, so like if like you like him, like this will be right up like your street, like alternative, like indie rock kind of thing, but really good songs. So also guess with a kind of some tracks have a kind of 80s pop kind of touch to them, but then there's other ones like the track which really grabbed my attention on here and made me buy this album was called Drowning in the Deep End, which has this kind of great kind of George Harrison-esque sort of slide guitar part on it. So this is fantastic. I again bought this one today, and it was a signed copy as well, which is really nice. So yeah, this one will definitely be featuring somewhere on my end of year list. Okay, and then I'll just be finishing the video with this one here, which is something which I don't think I would, I thought I would have been saying, but the Beatles' new single, which is Now and Then here. Yeah, so I just got this like this blue vinyl 7-inch off it here. So yeah, I mean, like, what do I think of the song? I mean, it's certainly not the Beatles' finest song, like, you know, but I think they've done a really good job of taking what was quite a rough, rudimentary John Lennon demo and kind of making it into a really good song. Like, you know, I mean, like, I mean, like the orchestration on it is really great. Like the kind of like the updated contributions from Paul and Ringo, like really work and like really fit the song well. So yeah, it's just good that it's kind of come out. You know, I think it's probably come out more. I guess Paul's probably wanted to release this, I guess, for some kind of closure, you know, because they kind of started this, of course, in like the mid-90s, but couldn't finish it because of the technological limitations like of like the time. So it is nice to finally get it. I just not a fan of this cover. I think this clock like on the back would have been a much better cover, especially when like you read like the backstory to this. Like, this was a clock which was originally owned by or I think is owned by like Olivia Harrison, and she said that like she was looking at this clock while Paul rang her to kind of ask like about this song and ask and like say like say like would like you be interested, or like would you allow this song to come out like with like George's input like on it. And yeah, she said it was kind of like a sign. So I think this would have been a much better cover, like personally speaking, like anyway. But it's a good song. It's a nice way, I guess, a nice kind of sentimental ending, I guess, and kind of closing off like the Beatles story, like, I suppose. So yeah, that's Now and Then by the Beatles. So again, that's me come to the end of this vinyl update video. So I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you all next time for the next video. Goodbye.